Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the workshop. If you've seen any of my other videos, welcome back to the workshop. This is going to be what I hope will be a fairly short video. What I've decided to do, having finished the copy attachment, is I'm going to fill in some time. I'm fitting some angel eyes lights to the quill of the mill to try and illuminate the tool that happens to be in the spindle at the time. I've had reports that these can throw shadows at the tip. Well, we'll just have to see what happens. What we have here on the bench is the components of the angel eyes light system which I'm going to use. These are called variously angel eyes, but they consist of a ring of LEDs, and well, you can see it, but they have 3 clips, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to clip 2 of these to a plate concentrically and slip them over the mill spindle to hopefully provide some illumination of the tool held in the mill spindle. What I've done off camera is 3D routed from 10mm thick perspex these mounting plates. That's the underside, and what I'll do is clip the angel eyes in, securing them with the clips provided, feed the cable through the holes, and I've milled out channels, as you can see, up to a pocket, which will take the voltage regulator from each one, and they'll be separated with a bit of insulation, some description. And then a second one is milled in a similar fashion, but just with the pocket on, and that clamps round the spindle, the static part of the spindle, and is held in place by 3 grub screws through here which bear on the static piece. And well, that's about it really. The cable comes in here from the power supply. Mains wiggly amps come in here, and 12 volts come out this way. The PCB is stuck down to the case, so I'm reluctant to try and prise it free, so I shall probably cut these off short, solder the incoming mains to the short stubs and heat shrink over the top. And similarly here, connect the cable to short stubs and heat shrink again to insulate them. That will then be mounted on the side of the mill, and with a short cable feed through, and this, oops, hit the camera. Get him the right way round, and the power cable comes in here, and then the hole is secured with screws from this side actually. There we go, and there's 4 of those holding the 2 pieces together. I've got to make some pointy ends on some dog tooth, what they call dog ended grub screws, to hold it in the onto the static part of the lathe. But I'll do that again off camera and just come back and do a quick recap when everything else is done. Well, you've seen a very shortened sequence which gives an idea of how the angel eyes were mounted. It's now finished, and here is the completed construction. 2 concentric angel eyes, the wiring's all concealed in the back there. It's fed by a AC to 12 volt DC power supply, and not surprisingly it's got a plug on the end. So here we go, I'll go and fit it on the lathe and we'll see what happens. Well, naturally I forgot to bring some tools with me, so that's probably why I've jumped a bit. I'm going to fit it now. The actual angel eyes will go over the spindle, attached to the static part of the mill. One, 2, 3. Just to prove that I can count. Move the bandsaw out of the way. This is where the original light was fitted from the factory, and which I found to be unsatisfactory. You'll pardon the pun. Riveting stuff, isn't it? I think perhaps at some later stage I'll fit this with an inline switch, but for the moment it will just be controlled from the main socket. I've got enough cable on. I think a cable clamp is in order there as a strain relief. Oh, there's ample cable. I've got the mill unplugged at the moment, just for safety's sake. Right, the big switch on. Wow, that's quite bright. I'll bring you in a bit closer and we'll have a look and see what sort of shadows it produces. There we are then, the light is on. It's just a bit of old gash old aluminium plate which I've brought up to bear the tool against. This is a 5mm spotting drill, and if I lower the quill you will see Yes, indeed, there is a shadow. It looks worse on the camera actually than it does in real life, but nevertheless there is one there. I've deliberately set the spotting drill in quite high up into the spindle to present the worst case scenario. If I get a 5mm drill, there we go, 5. I'll have to wind the tail down a bit. Or I could just move that, couldn't I? And then as the drill comes down, you will see that there is, well, yes, there is a shadow, but it's no bigger than the size of the drill itself. So in that respect, it's not too bad. I'm quite pleased with that. It's very rare that I use a short drill. Maybe a 5mm cutter in there would be the same as the stick out as the spotting drill. However, as a temporary measure, I could use a handheld torch. So I'm quite pleased with that. Yes, it throws a shadow at very close distances, but then the light fitting is here. It would have to be brought down much lower and would get in the way of the spindle, so I don't see that that's any way to get around that. Oh yes, the other thing is I've been warned on the Model Engineers Workshop website forum, that's the address, that it can cause strobing in some situations. So I'm just going to go and get a bit of tape or something to put on the quill, and then we'll run the mill motor up at various speeds and see if we get any strobing effect. Right, I've stuck a bit of insulting tape on the ER collet, and sorry about the noise of the fan from the VFD, but I can't stop that, and we'll start the motor up and see if we get any strobe effect. Oh, that's a bit inconclusive really, because they're getting strobe effect from the frame rate of the camera. You're seeing the stripe gradually rotate that way, but in real life all I'm seeing is a blur. I'm not seeing any strobe effect at all, so I'm afraid that's a bit inconclusive. Yeah, it's going back now. I'm looking at the screen on the camera, and that's now going left to right, and I perceive that on the screen as going that way now. So I'm afraid that's a bit inconclusive as far as I'm concerned. And real world, I don't see it as a problem. Real camera, yes, it is a problem, and I don't know how to overcome that. In fact, I don't think I can, so I'll stop trying. But don't stop viewing, and if you have sat through all this, I appreciate it. Thanks for those who have subscribed to the channel. And hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.